Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So we have some off-grid property and we were scheduled to meet with a couple of agents from the United States Department of the Interior to talk about our federal conservation easement on our property. So we've never shown this property on the channel before, so we thought we'd explain a little bit about that federal conservation easement and also show you around the property a little bit. We plan to do quite a bit more with this. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Okay, man, it's gotten winter again, but we're here at our off-grid property, which we bought because of this lake and also the woods, and there is a beautiful home site on top of that hill. The problem is it's completely off-grid. There are no power lines anywhere close to, probably a half mile from here is the closest power lines. So we ended up not building on this property, but we're keeping it with the thoughts of maybe building an off-grid cabin here at some point. So when we bought this, we knew that it had a National Wildlife Conservation easement on the property, and that easement is approximately an acre and a half out of the 22 acres that this property is. But so we've known about that easement all along and had no problems with it. We were told that just basically leave that easement area alone, don't do anything in it. And that's what we've done for, what, 20 years?
Close to it.
Yeah, close to 20 years. But we started getting letters 2 years ago about that easement. We started getting certified letters a couple years ago from the United States Department of the Interior, and we got them last year. We were so busy building the house, we didn't really, pay any attention so much to it. And it basically just said we owned the easement and they needed to make sure we were taking care of it. So we hadn't touched it. We hadn't even really been here last year. So we were just kind of let it go. Well, this year we got another certified letter, and this time it said to please call them so they get a little more information. And so we did that. And then they also said that they are required to monitor the property and they wanted to come out and take a visit. So yesterday, 2 federal agents showed up to look at the easement. Luckily, we're not in jail. But they said everything looked fine and it actually was very informative. So we thought that maybe some of you might be interested in, if you're looking at off-grid property or property that's especially in wetland areas, to know a little more about these wildlife easements. Okay, so one of the things with the easement is we're not allowed to cut anything that's on that easement or that falls on it. If there's anything that falls that could be good firewood, we have to just let it rot. But what they did tell us is if it falls into the road, we can cut it out of the road and just throw it back in the side. So that's what we're going to do here. Thought that was awfully loud. Okay, so we're going to cut this out of the road. Okay, so this is where we were going to put our house, which is a flat spot on top of this hill. And it has at least 180 degrees of panoramic view up here. So if we never build a house up here, I think we're going to at least put an off-grid cabin up here. We got our pond. We own all of that pond, and we own over to the cornfield over there, that tree line. And then we own 22 acres basically straight back that way. And also that acre and a half, which is National Federal Wildlife Refuge. So here's some of that rock hill that rolls around and becomes the cave. These are some mammoth rocks. Now we're looking into the sun. Okay. Feel like we've been walking all day?
Yeah, I started off cold wearing 2 coats. I've walked enough now I had to take everything off. Used to be a little...
So here's this spring that comes out of there, and it's got quite a bit of erosion to it. But this is completely fresh, non-sulfur water. And years ago, people would come here to get their fresh water. They actually had a pipe in the ground, there it is, that led down the hill to a big tank, which of course long since gone. But if you were to build anything off-grid here, you've got a water supply, and it's very good fresh water. I want to test it, just make sure there's nothing in it, but it comes right out of the ground, out of all that rock, so filtered. So if you got it as close to the source as you could, you'd probably be doing all right. So there's that cave. And you can see there's a whole bunch of rock. I mean, if any of that stuff fell, it would be lights out. So I never really messed around in this cave a lot. You can see something has kind of dug around in there. So hopefully we don't find a coyote, but let's go take a peek. Okay, I don't have any caving equipment or anything. I do have a pen light. And I've got the light on my flashlight, or on my phone. Whatever, flashlight on my phone. Trying to take a peek in there. So I am now well in the danger zone of this cave. The DNR, ooh, look at all that poop. Something's living in here. And there's a beer can. I knew there'd be at least one. Maggie, there's a giant pile of poop. Looks like probably coyote. So there's another little entrance or exit. This comes as a room. It goes that way quite a bit. I'm trying to light all this up. And it goes that way quite a bit. I'm maybe 10 feet in. Let's go just a little bit farther. Another big pile of poop. I think I'm gonna back out here before I run into whatever's making all that poop. Wow, this whole thing's full of droppings. I don't see bats or any stalactites. So I think that'll be just about the end of the cave tour though for today. If y'all like this, maybe we can come back, find somebody that knows something about caves maybe. All right, I'm gonna back out of here. Okay, so here is one of the conservation easement boundaries. And you can see U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the federal agents that were out here the other day. So this is our property. But on this strip, which we own basically to the road down there, which isn't very far, I'm gonna say 50 feet probably. And then that way, all the way to the end of our property in a straight line. And actually when it gets to that end, because the road kind of curves, it's only about probably 20 feet from the road. But anyway, we cannot, let me see the list. So we are legally bound. Okay, so the conservation easement on this property specifically prohibits the building of structures, cutting or mowing, farming, grazing, wood cutting, burning, dumping, draining, dredging, channeling, filling, disking, pumping, diking, impounding, or diverting, or affecting the natural flow of surface or underground waters into, within, or out of the easement area. So the landowner is also responsible for the control of noxious or other undesirable plants on the easement area. So we got that letter and we were a little concerned that maybe they thought we were doing something we weren't supposed to. But the agents came out yesterday. We walked around the property. They were interested in the cave, so we went and explored it a little bit. And then they basically told us we were doing everything correct and that basically we had nothing to be concerned about with the easement, just keep doing what we're doing. The one area we were concerned about was the removal of, what is it called? Invasive plants. So the one thing we were worried about was the removal of invasive plants, because I don't know that I'd recognize them. They said there were no invasives on this and we didn't have to do anything. So hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, y'all.